a king's crown on Bagby's head and he's walking like this. And I don't know what that cartoon means. But this is the problem that I have. As a news reporter, we have to develop a republic where things are straightforward, and we have to have fidelity to the text.
Once the Supreme Court, Bontin, can say Parliament, the Ecoso Hono, I was say Omutimidi Emra, to be Emra, I was said that. Na asem we munchiri mu no obi a wo ha wo si eka no Paul Adom Otchere enso kwatina good evening so na o kire the side of the story mu ha wo si tisa asem na se efa na we na raise concern ene nkofo mebi na kire se ene se mra we na da parliament se de ye nyina ye wa bonten a ye kire ya adwene a ye se eye speaker nsem a wo ka no obi a enti na sopamu no ni court dia wo ka obi so obi enti na sopamu no ni kra ene sen yenkotie Paul Adom Otchere enso nchiri mu ode aba ene emre da sansem we ho no yenkoni yenkotie we do also betimi de wadwen chira ba very important the Paul Adom Otchere eken woni ne ya adwene ana ne nya adwene for comment for good comment section.
Article 99. The High Court shall have jurisdiction to hear and determine any question whether a person has been validly elected as a member of parliament or the seat of a member of parliament has become vacant. The High Court shall have jurisdiction. Again, very, very important. It did not say that the High Court shall have exclusive jurisdiction. It did not say. Other parts of the Constitution, and producer, if you can find any article that shows exclusive jurisdiction, let me have it. It says the High Court shall have jurisdiction. It didn't say exclusive jurisdiction, because the Supreme Court is the author of interpretation of the Constitution. Any matter at all can take the form of a constitutional interpretation. The lawyers will tell you that. A matter can start as a land matter. Paul Adom Otchere versus John Dramani Mahama. We are fighting over Abobloshi land. It can become a constitutional matter. If in the fight over Abobloshi land, Paul Adom Otchere raises an issue that John Dramani Mahama, having been Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces before, under the Constitution is not entitled to file a writ against me in the High Court. I have raised the constitutional matter for the Supreme Court to make the determination. And the Constitution says that the Supreme Court has exclusive jurisdiction in the interpretation of the constitutional provisions in 1992's document. They have the exclusive jurisdiction. So constitutional matters can be raised and find itself raised in any matter. It can come from anywhere. But in constitutional matters, the apex court, the Supreme Court, has exclusive jurisdiction. That's what it is. The High Court here has jurisdiction, but it's not exclusive. So the conversation I was telling you about today, apparently when the judges went into the court, they went into conclave to make a decision, to share their decision. So they were arguing. I won't tell you who, because if I say that, you sort of get it. I mean, I won't even tell you the agenda. If I say it, you get it. So one person who is voting for the dissenting asked the person voting for majority that where are we? Say we're going for the majority. We're interpreter. Speaker can't do that. Then the other one said, I agree with you, but this is a matter for the High Court. And therefore, when Afenyo-Markin brought his application, this opinion suggests that when Afenyo-Markin brought his application, the Supreme Court should have declined original jurisdiction and revert to the High Court for the jurisdiction. Let the High Court make a decision. If the applicant or the respondent are unhappy with the decision of the High Court, then they will file an application to the Supreme Court, an interlocutory application to the Supreme Court for a determination of the constitutional issues. This was the view, and I believe it may be the view of the two. But we have to wait for tomorrow and see what the views really are. But we are suggesting here. Now it's okay. But this is a matter of critical issues. First of all, the time is important. 3 weeks to election. Second of all, Article 2. Producer, give me Article 2. Article 2 directs the Supreme Court to accept jurisdiction when matters of constitutional interpretation have been raised in a writ. That is the Supreme Court's fundamental obligation. That when matters of constitutional interpretation have been raised in a writ, the Supreme Court ought to accept the jurisdiction. Here it is. Original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. 1. Subject to the jurisdiction of the High Court in the enforcement of the fundamental human rights and freedoms provided for in Article 33 of this Constitution, the Supreme Court shall have exclusive, original jurisdiction in all matters relating to the enforcement or interpretation of this Constitution, and all matters arising as to whether an enactment was made in excess of the powers conferred on Parliament or on any other authority in person by law or under the Constitution. Why did the framers of the Constitution put Parliament's name here? And those who are talking about separation of powers and they say they don't understand it. Why did the framers of the Constitution put Parliament here? Let's read it again. Subject to the jurisdiction of the High Court in the enforcement of the fundamental human rights and freedoms as provided in Article 33 of this Constitution, the Supreme Court shall have exclusive, original jurisdiction in all matters relating to the enforcement or interpretation of this Constitution, and in all matters arising as to whether an enactment was made in excess of the powers conferred on Parliament. So the framers of the Constitution had supposed that there would be friction and Parliament would do certain things that will require the interpretation of the Supreme Court, and they put it right there in Article 130. What are they talking about? What is anybody talking about? This is so clear and so obvious. Why are some people in Ghana creating a fetish about something that is straightforward? It is straightforward. Why are people creating some fetish about it? I see cartoons where they put a king's crown on Bagbi's head and he's walking like this. And I don't know what that cartoon means. But this is the problem that I have. As a news reporter, we have to develop a republic where things are straightforward. And we have to have fidelity to the text. This is the 1992 Constitution. The lawyers who are pretending that they don't understand it, they are pretending they don't understand it. What is difficult to understand about this? Article 130. It says that the High Court shall have exclusive jurisdiction in matters of human rights, subject to that, except that. Take that away. Everything else, all matters relating to the enforcement, interpretation of this Constitution is the Supreme Court. So in this conversation I was telling you, the other person said that, but our original jurisdiction has been invoked. What are you talking about that we should decline jurisdiction? We cannot decline jurisdiction. This is the conversation. And tomorrow we'll see what the reasons are to know whether our guess was right or wrong. But now we have a 5-2 decision. And this is the matter. So the people who voted for the 5, I guess, thought that the Supreme Court's original jurisdiction has been invoked. Can the Speaker do this, that? The answer is no. The Speaker cannot do this, that, and that. The answer is no. Why should we go to the High Court for the High Court to tell us? When the Supreme Court has the power so to do. The Supreme Court has the power to do that. Why must the High Court tell us? What's the point? I don't get it. Article 130, all of you young students, read it. Take your Constitution. Those who have the miniature yellow one, take it. Look at Article 130. It's there. It is entitled The Original Jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. That's the title, original jurisdiction. It shall have the original jurisdiction in all matters. So how can any Supreme Court judge decline jurisdiction when the original jurisdiction of the court has been invoked under Article 2? I don't get it. Justice Pegan used to talk about this all the time. He was a personal friend of mine. I used to go to his house at Ridge. I think he's still alive. He doesn't live there anymore. But at Ridge, the passport office, I'll go to Pegan. I'll leave Makola Drive to Pegan's house, climb upstairs, sit with him till when I don't have good evening. And I sit with him throughout the night. And I've been talking. Justice Pegan, at that time, he was past 80. He was talking to me about law. And one of his passions was the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, that when it is invoked, the Supreme Court must deal with it.
So, Pacifica structure for the and then I found Kodom unique laser whitening. Unique laser whitening, I will toothpaste was from Kwan. So did you choose here and ma was see a year fita. Na a year fita no so no. Na a year and carboni beer when no beer. Any tea stains, coffee stains, smoking stains beer. Unique laser whitening product. A bayin in air free swammer, come. The only is a product in me. Ubetu so. Na udi go or brush no so. Now the chuchu was in the swing come out. Uria and Rua Num, General Numusa, into contact Unique Laser Whitening. I was 079-9979-2330. Unique Laser Whitening, or say Muni Sesso.
Penifose bibio wi asenti ne da ne atopno na ne pabone fonti e wo se wo bambo hu hia na me papa mu de Pro Technologies ana me kan fama wo ane Pro Technologies. We are specialized in both sales and installation of CCTV cameras. Yeton esa install CCTV cameras in the Sour Ghana and NASA brochure now fear Ghana. Now pursue CCTV camera installation. We need Pro Technologies and then Sawaso. We use CCTV camera installation, electric fence, automated gate, access control, video doorbell, and our intercom, and our satellite TV, home theater, so upebiato, and our water, and our PCB install them out. Pro Technologies, and our software. Na shene so. Say a video you from America Butchman. And this and Papa now pedia. Man, you know, none wants to that form. Make sure you know the web Butchman any branch, our Ghana. You need more brow brain into Sika Fire and Sem. Symphony Japadima or Ghana. Or da. Nanya Tennessee, yes, general construction. So web brochure, no peso si for Ghana. A day plan be a peso si. So I shall see that. And now for no peso si. Plan beer, Yebisiama, and which so here solar power, and now Bamba once and send the idea. When you need Sawaso, near Sansuya smart home, a pair from Fidia be a pesticide, a wolf here, and our Chumamo de Mawo, when you need Sawaso. We are just a call away. Near Sansu are there, the Mahai, and now February Trabedu Ghana, now open full house, room, and now apartments are high. For short term and now long term, Yebemo Biani border form, now Bamba once and dear, man, you know, and your interior decoration. So as if you're and now you still fear amount. Yes, sir, decoration. Your best yes, you'll be and now officer at the amount. And register what don't feed you. Now, who can first install it? And none settings, ye bay at the amount. Our Ghana, Ubehuyan, when Mirror Fradenta, Edward Yacha Dodoa, Ubehuya, our Ashi, Yene Emmalin Pharmacy, and what the same building. For information or WhatsApp 401 7570 300 and a plus 401 6992 254. Pro Technologies. We have the solutions for your security and home entertainment needs at affordable prices.